Formula One has pulled back the curtain once more with their latest series of Drive to Survive. The Netflix cameras have followed the constructors and drivers through their 2020 season, culminating in a 10-part series that has just been released. Lifting the lid on some of Formula One's biggest secrets, the third series followed Pierre Gasly's Monza win, Renault's protest against Racing Point's RP20 car, and Romain Grosjean's crash in Bahrain. Drive to Survive has been praised for alleviating some of Formula One's paranoid secrecy and bringing a compelling vantage point to the sport. However, questions have been raised about whether the series delves far enough into team politics. Some critics have even claimed Drive to Survive fails to grasp the true narrative, sensationalising stories for casual viewers rather than focusing on the real talking points of the sport. In this video, we'll examine if the series does have a problem with perspective. Formula One's willingness to lift the veil has notably grown since Bernie Ecclestone departed from the sport. During the Ecclestone era of F1, the outside world shed no light on the sport, as fly-on-the-wall filming was strictly off-limits. Most likely fearing a lack of control on the narrative, Ecclestone preferred to keep Formula One private. However, problems started to emerge, as while other sports moved into the digital era, Formula One remained stuck in the past. Ecclestone had a long-held opposition to promoting Formula One on social media, and later admitted his difficulty in monetizing digital and social media strategies. Between 2008 and 2016, Formula One had lost one-third of its worldwide audience, around 200 million viewers. So it was no surprise that after Liberty Media completed its purchase of a 33.5% stake in Formula One, they appointed Chase Carey, former Executive Vice Chairman for 21st Century Fox, as the Chief Executive Officer of the Formula One Group. Upon joining the sport, Carey said he wanted to make Formula One a spectacle, saying, "We have great stars, Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen, but we have zero people in marketing, and we don't have any connection on digital media. We have to do a better job of enabling fans to connect to our stars." 1 year later, Formula One and Netflix announced a season-long collaboration of an original docuseries of the 2018 Formula One World Championship. Both Series 1 and 2 of Drive to Survive have proved to be a huge hit on the streaming service, captivating viewers with its voyeuristic perspective. Paddock characters such as Gunter Steiner have shined as Netflix captured his unintentionally funny handling of Haas's woes. Both series brought to light several eye-opening revelations, such as Pierre Gasly causing almost €2 million worth of damage with his pre-season testing crashes, and George Russell's frustration with the ongoing trials and tribulations of the Williams team. Drive to Survive also captured the human side of the sport, with Daniel Ricciardo's mother Grace speaking about having to let her son go to Europe and chase his dreams, while also highlighting the many sacrifices made by Esteban Ocon's parents. But despite Drive to Survive's refreshing amount of honesty, there are some issues the series has failed to address. A problem with the first series was that the two top teams at the time, Ferrari and Mercedes, declined to be involved. This was disappointing as their rivalry was one of the biggest focus points in the sport. The second season was better for having them in it, but Netflix was only granted access for one race. While there is better access to the teams in the third series, Lewis Hamilton's incredible work on the Black Lives Matter movement and achievement of being a 7-time world champion is only mentioned in the last 4 minutes of the final episode. There's also the question of whether Drive to Survive is made for F1 fans, or more so for entertainment purposes. The query is raised through the dramatization of huge accidents, such as Nico Hülkenberg's flip in Abu Dhabi and Romain Grosjean's crash in Bahrain. The scenes are drawn out using super slow-mo effects, long pauses, and cuts to team members and spectators. Similarly, Drive to Survive rarely features technical jargon, but rather focuses on rhetoric that casual viewers can relate to. Interestingly, Formula One managing director Ross Brawn says the sport hasn't reaped a big financial benefit from the series. Brawn said, "Some of the promoters in the past season have said they've measured the increase in interest in Formula One that has come from the Netflix series. And while Netflix in itself wasn't for us a hugely profitable venture, in terms of giving greater coverage for Formula One, it's been fantastic. And that's the type of initiative that we're doing. We're looking at taking a holistic view of how we can lift F1. In my opinion, Drive to Survive is an enthralling sports docuseries that provides enough salacious scandal for casual viewers, while satisfying dedicated F1 fans with unparalleled behind the scenes access. It serves as a catalyst to entice new fans, which can only be a good thing. And after decades of secrecy, receiving any form of insight into Formula One is always welcome.